Hey everyone, welcome to Sagas of the Shimmering Sea. I don't know why the hand motions came with that, but it did. This is the Hidden Tomb of Akarut. And the Hidden Akarut I just typed. That doesn't seem good. I think I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Is that possible, Marcus? Excellent. Well, we will solve that as we go forward. But welcome, everyone, to the Hidden Tomb of Akarut. This is my awesome cast. And that you are looking upon on the board is our list of enemies. It is too smaller now, but it is our list of enemies. And by enemies, we mean the biggest of the enemies. Obviously, they've all got servitors and servants, and one of them seems to have an army, or at least there seems to be a claim of an army. And that's sort of what's going on and how we are doing it right now. I forgot to promote this, so I'm going to do that right now with Spicy and with Bumblebees and with Jack the Undying. Check out us fighting in Undead God? Question mark? Yeah, that sounds right. I think a question mark feels morally correct there. So here we are, guys. So you guys have decided to head north. You've left the tomb. Does anyone have any supplies they want to pick up? I don't want to like waste too much time doing that, but if you want to pick up any supplies and want to do so, now is a good time. Emily, I'm calling on you like you're a student.
Just a reminder for everyone that we should probably stock up on healing potions because I've used most of mine. So everyone might be a bit low.
Yeah. Oh god, I was hoping to just like gloss over this stuff, but do you want to buy them from the guild that hates you? Or do you want to buy them from Hubert Songshore?
Oh, I forgot. Actually, hang on. We started brewing the potions with help from the Temple of the Six, didn't we?
Yes, last episode. Good for you. They'll be ready in about a month.
Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely Tis that is the problem from their perspective. I don't think Tis is actually the problem, but I think they think that Tis is the problem. So you
Okay,
want to send
so
someone
does
else to
someone else
purchase
want to go in?
it? Okay. Um, yeah, so here's the deal. They are jacking up the prices. They are, in fact, doubling the
For
prices.
us or
For you.
okay. How much are
Um,
they then?
uh, do you want healing, greater, superior, or supreme?
Greater.
Greater
44
healing
plus 4.
potions are going to be 500 gold pieces per.
Rude.
I mean, okay, so
I think that's rude. Try stealing people's magic items that they feel entitled to.
that's exactly what I was going to say. Why don't we fix our problem of people perceiving us as stealing things by stealing things? It's brilliant. So
I have a vaguely related but also not very related question.
Mm.
My plant wand, and those mushrooms that we found in the Temple of the Six, could I possibly make those?
Yes. They're
Okay.
1d10, I think, temporary hit points. They don't stack, but you know.
2d10 temporary hit
2d10
points.
temporary hit points. Nice. Well, they don't stack, but yes, you absolutely can make them.
Okay. I'll just sit down and make a few of those.
Sounds good. Celia starts making mushrooms for everyone.
Dodgy.
no. Okay, so the real question is the war wagon. Because I had plans for that. Not quite sure the whole deal on that. So where would be best to go for that?
Where do you want to go with it long term?
Long term, I think it's definitely something that we can kind of use as a mobile home base because,
Mhm.
like, that's like I think the plan, right?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think like something that will allow us to just like really bunker down is to keep us from like essentially getting bandit attacked by random groups at
Mhm.
night
Mhm.
would be really useful. And then
So,
like we
so it sounds to me like you're thinking right now is like a surface war wagon, not like a dungeon crawl war wagon. Is that correct?
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I was just checking because if it's a dungeon crawl war wagon, then the best place to set it up would be the Temple of the Six. If it's a surface one, then you've got a tent, and an area around there that you can use that has um, Bialor in it.
Hmm. I did not split it up. So
Okay, everybody would have gotten 2,191 because we got 8,000 something from
Yep.
Perius or Adius.
Adius,
Mhm.
yeah. You killed
So-
Adius. I'm very happy. Sorry.
100%.
I mean, I'd be quite happy to buy some healing potions, even at the double price,
Okay.
since I now have the gold, because I kind of need healing for my magic.
Well, I think the alternative is we could. There's literally because we're going up north, right? We're going up north on what essentially is a suicide mission. Like we're going to battle, and like I'm going to be very meta here, right? We are going to battle place name of the thing, right? Which I think is like, we need to take into consideration like how but like that being said, so like it's pretty much a suicide mission, but that's okay, right? um the thing is if we don't, even if we do return, right, stealing from oh god, what's his name,
The guild or Hubert?
Hubert, that's the one. Stealing from Hubert doesn't really have like extraordinarily negative consequences. I mean, it does.
Suppose.
It's like, right? Like, yeah, like, like we're robbing a bank and skipping town. Like, it's not like, the worst thing. Like, if we were planning to do something similar, this is how and where we do it.
Just saying, this does sound very bad. Like, we are technically planning on coming back, hopefully. So
Sure, but we have the guild.
we should maybe plan for that
And the
scenario.
guild doesn't have like Hubert Songshore, so even if we incite a war between the guild and Songshore, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm.
Leave a calling card. Guild will see you.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he figures it out, then he'll blame the guild. If he doesn't, then GG, we win. So, I mean, like, he obviously like either figures it out that it was us or he doesn't. So,
What's he gonna like do? That's not.
Okay.
yeah. Is he gonna send
You know
people
what?
up into the armies of the north to like come and find us through the fucking skeleton? Like, I mean, if anything, they're just going to help us because they're going to be clearing out the back end minions that are going to ambush us. And by the time that they get there, they're going to be so exhausted and half dead that we'll just be able to blow them over with a slight breeze. So,
This is very violent. Okay. Well, I think Tis and Ziriel are kind of already hated by Songshore because, like, Ziriel obviously traitor and Tis for obvious reasons. But me and Lyra are kind of only like hated by association, so I think we should stay out of this just in case anything actually happens. we can plead innocence, and maybe we'll actually still be let into the desert. Because
I mean, ouch,
this
but
is
okay.
dangerous. I'm just saying.
Ouch, but fair.
I thought my
Of course, I
homies
have
were
much
ride or
trust in
die.
you, but
No, I thought we were ride or die. Like that's okay though. Like and now I know when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
we are ride and hopefully not die. That is the problem here. You are very much ride or die.
Fair.
I am ride and please
You know,
don't die.
and the worst thing is I am a terrible, terrible person because like I was thinking this week, I was like, you know what? How terrible would it be to continue the cycle of betrayal and betray my own evil master? Like and it was a thought that was just mulling over in my head, and I'm thinking like we could probably get some good stuff from that, and we could probably win the favor of Ozistra. So like, you know,
Please don't.
I know, but
Please
like
don't get yourself into more mortal danger. You're
pretty
in enough.
much. And like it was exactly that I heard in my head was just like the rest, and like that's totally fine. But I did consider it over for like a good bit of time. So
The blood mage is the voice of reason.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, me too. And like he's kind of like, not gonna lie, it's funny because this is like totally how life and mutiny works. It is like I feel like he may have held back on the last upgrade that I'd gotten. So like what ended up happening is like I was thinking like, man, like is that a purposeful thing? Because the other one like was like insane, right? But this one far harder and more difficult, yet the reward far lesser, right? So I'm wondering if that's purposeful or if that's like so like that's the real question that I should have been like rolling insight checks on. No, I think he's doing the thing that I would probably do, and he is just being like, you know what? Like he will get powerful, but I don't want him to get as powerful, right? So, because like again, like I do think that he knows that there is the eventuality of like when two people are seeking and contesting power, that one has to take over the other.
It turns out that if you have already betrayed your master and also betrayed your new master that you betrayed your master for, you kind of expect your students to betray you, is the point that Zerial is making here. And
Yeah.
I think that's a fair point to make.
Exactly. So we got to go in. We got to kick his ass. So, nah, but yeah, eventually, I think we're focusing on the Lich right now, though. So yeah. Anyways, do you want to plan our armed robbery?
You know,
Yeah. And we, man, this is like absolutely terrible. But like we do have the well, yeah, I really need to rethink my stance on murder. Like, that is definite. Like, I mean, yeah, you're far better person than me. Yeah, because like here's the thing, right? Is like there are two types of stealth. There is making sure that the people who are there do not see you, and making sure that there are no people there to see you. And both are equally valid forms of stealth.
But yeah, but if you make sure there are no people there to see you,
Mhm.
you are also leaving a trail.
Of blood, hopefully not my own.
Don't really know how to respond to that one.
Zerial and I take off, do the deed,
Okay.
come back, and then the trail leads into the desert, which is famously huge.
Yeah. And then M and Asma will be our getaway drivers. Beautiful. I yeah, war wagon, yes.
Have you already purchased that?
No.
Okay.
So there becomes an issue.
Let's see what we got here.
Are there any like locals in the town that would be like experts in woodworking? Because specifically, I want the wagon to be entirely made out of wood, reinforced wood and lacquered, but like still.
Yeah, sure, that's possible.
Okay. Like I will actually do some. I plan to do some art, but I'm again lazy, so yeah, we don't have it yet. But like, yeah, no, it's like think like that like classic magical D&D caravan where it's like entirely made out of wood and it's like a traveling puppet show type of caravan, like that style. I love that style of like caravan. So I was thinking like that, but with like spicy upgrades.
Well, you have to. I can tell you the base thing pretty easily. The upgrades we'll have to talk about to see how they cost to build and all that good stuff.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, just like little things, like little holes to shoot out of, and like
yeah, of course. But everything's gonna cost money, right?
For sure.
So like, but the base wagon, it turns out the wood is expensive in Pine, but like building a wagon's not that bad. So the whole wagon is just gonna come to a cost of 350 gold pieces.
Okay.
And then with upgrades being added on top.
Could I reinforce that to like make it to the highest quality, but pay like a full 3,000?
Yes.
Okay, and that's definitely what I would want to do.
Realistically speaking, I think that even if you upgrade it to the highest quality, 3,000 is a little high. So I think probably 2,500 is actually I think the most you could get out of it, and that'll buff the AC. That'll make it mobile. That'll give it some extra tags. That sort of thing. It'll give it extra health. It'll give it a damage threshold because you're using like the highest of teak wood.
Oh,
that sort of thing.
Yeah, I just figure like for our like quote unquote mobile base, it should like be able to take a beating because like and like yeah. So and then we should take group votes for like different upgrades. Like we should have like one upgrade per person, like based on like the stuff that they like to do.
That makes sense.
So
people want to start thinking about what they would want from a mobile war wagon. We don't have to answer this now. We can also take our time, like, and we can retroactively answer it too. Like we can get to a situation where you're like, I have no objection to retroactively answering it. We can get to a situation where like, you're like, I really need a peephole to be able to shoot arrows through here, and I'm like, great. Do you have one in the wagon? And you can say, yes, that's my upgrade, and then your upgrade will grant you, whatever, and like, and I'll say, great, that would have cost you 1,000 gold, and then give me 1,000 gold, and we will allow it to have happened. Flashback style.
Okay, I know exactly what I want my upgrade to be.
What do you want it to be?
Oh, it's terrible. It's the worst thing ever, and you're going to absolutely hate it. But
I'm looking forward to it.
Extraordinarily, and I mean extraordinarily strong rope and a cannon to fire a effectively just like a grappling hook, but like we're talking like a cannon, so it's gonna stick into whatever it is. So that way we
like
can
a ballista with a chain.
Exactly. So that way we can cross things like with the wagon pretty precariously, but still it would be absolutely hilarious. So
let me see what I got here.
Purple worm.
Oh yeah.
What do you think that is?
Sound charges. It could be I think we tried something chemical like scent or taste wise before and it didn't work. So yeah, probably sound charges.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be possible too. Because like we could have like, you remember in Pirates of the Caribbean, the ship thing that they would like push and they would it would slam down and it would make like a huge thunder wave. And mechanically, we could treat it like the use of a turn like every few turns or like every like we could make it longer, like 5 or 6 turns, to be like I think there's like a thunder shock, but there's like a sound thing on the ground. You know what I'm talking about as well.
To the worm, I think, if I know how tremor sense works.
Or it could be. I mean, I think there's a possibility that you could get so much going on that it could disrupt the worm.
Yeah, like it's. Oh wait, no, the worm is dead. We killed the worm. Yeah, yeah. I specifically remember because I blew it up with me inside of it, and then decided to portray Superman for a good bit of time.
Yeah. So let me go back to Jack for 1 second. Zerial, ballistas. In terms of ballistas, I've got 3 tiers. The lowest tier just sucks, so I'm gonna assume you don't want that one.
Yep.
But the medium tier is sort of like an average, good ballista. It's a medium ballista. It'll cost you 1,000 gold pieces, and is strong and good, and you can easily like have chains attached to it. It'll function basically as you want. The largest version of the ballista is much larger, and as a result, it will slow the wagon down, but be more powerful. So it's a trade-off, and it's 2,000 gold.
Okay, I'll go for. I think we should go for the 2,000, right, guys? Just because we don't want like the wagon to actually like fall off of said ballista with us inside of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give you. I'll post stats for the ballista here. Basic stuff. Jack, if you copy this down onto your character sheet somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. We could also at some point just make a separate sheet for the wagon.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But for now, I'm just handing it to you.
For sure. Yeah, and I'll remember it.
15. Hit points 200. DR damage threshold 10. Dexterity saving throw DC 15 to not be restrained by being hit. There you go. Oh, forward facing arc. You can decide where you want to position, but it's a forward facing arc. It doesn't have 360 range.
Okay. Yeah, I think like that's the best thing because we're just planning on using it for mobility. Yep. Hopefully, unless we find something very, very large.
Yep.
So
there you go. You now have a massive ballista.
Yay! And I'm broke.
There you go.
Best way to be broke, though.
Okay, Celia, are you going to purchase some of these healing potions before we steal them, or are we just going to trust to the stealing?
That is a very good question, because as much as I trust the stealing, I kind of don't want to be associated with it in any way. So I will go into the guild and buy a couple potions.
Passing on 3,000 gold to Celia to purchase potions from the guild.
Okay, I can't afford any more than a few 4d4 + 4 ones, because double the next size up would be 5,000 gold. So 8d4 + 8 would be 5,000 if it was doubled by the guild, because they hate us. So
okay, yeah, that works. Whatever we get works.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case, if I've got 3,000 plus what I was going to spend, I can buy 10.
10 greater healing potions. Nice.
Do I have a conversation with them? Or do they not talk to me?
I think it's more like very perfunctory, is their attitude.
Okay, I'll just kind of be like weirdly cheerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll wave to them and be like, hi. But I won't say anything unless they want me to.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you roll a persuasion check?
Hang on. Persuasion. Where is it gone? There it is. 2.
Yeah, your relentless cheeriness does not seem to have any effect on placating their ire.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Go back to making my mushrooms.
It's unfortunate.
Okay. Lyra, anything you want to purchase and or do before we get the heck out of Dodge?
I just was thinking, can we not like make Tiss and Zero like invisible or something? Just do something to try and stop them from being caught outright.
Yeah, do you have the ability to do that?
I do have invisibility, so I can technically make Tiss invisible, I suppose.
If you've got a higher level spell slot, you can do it, cast it on 2 people. I don't know if you do.
I can do that.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll do that. If both of them are okay with that plan.
Tiss, Zero, how do you feel about being invisible while you try to steal things?
Absolutely.
I could wait. Maybe I'll give them the sort of the I don't know what the cloak is called, the one with the big hole in it, so they can just shove things in there.
Or even better, like you could come with us. That's fair.
Just
the
puts
other,
the foot
no,
I
that's
don't
okay.
mind. Yeah, I don't mind going if one of you. Yeah, but I can only cast invisible ability on 2 people. I could try and sneak around myself. See if we can get away with that.
Sally, how do you feel about Lyra going on this mission?
I'm not gonna stop her. I'm gonna make it. I'll just be like, I'll be here when you come back.
I think I've lost 1 points with
kind of like a veiled, you better fucking come back.
Oh.
That'll be fine. Okay.
Only hated by association with Tiss and Zerial. Zerial and Tiss are just kind of done for.
Sure.
There is no redeeming Zerial.
I'm okay with making more enemies, so.
You're okay making more enemies. Good to know. I'll bear that in mind. Okay, very well. So Cover of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Steed by the carts while we go.
It looks at you expectantly, and then with a hoarse ruffle nods.
Good boy, Tempest.
With the horse ruffle and a perception of time, it nods.
Yeah, Tempest hangs out there.
You guys ready? Okay. I'm gonna see if I can't. I mean, I am a giant bug person, so I can't really say that like dark clothing would help. But I'm gonna see if I could use some common clothing to kind of mask any noticeable features.
Mm-hmm. And then Lyra casts some visibility on you. Yeah. What kind of? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's open 24 hours.
Could we, Lyra? Could you go checking around the front? You have the highest stealth even with invisibility. Could you just check out front, see how many people are inside the shop?
Lyra, roll a stealth check for me.
Cannot fail. It's coming plus 50. But.
And Lyra, follow up. Can you roll a perception check for me?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Spicy rolls.
Nice. There are two people inside the shop, but you also notice that one of them is casting spells on like several ornaments around the shop that look like little statues and things like that. And it. Why don't you roll an Arcana check?
Ooh. The classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely some sort of spell on those sorts of things around the shop, and probably has some sort of meaning, or is some sort of thing that would be perhaps defensive in nature.
Okay. So I'm guessing with that roll, I don't really recognize the spells they're saying or anything.
No.
Can I at least remember what they said and see if I can relay that back to Tis or see if they
Yeah, absolutely.
might know what it is?
That sounds reasonable. With your 14 perception, I'll allow that. 24 perception, sorry, I'll allow that.
I'll say them to Tis and ask if they know what the spells are.
Tis, roll an Arcana check.
Oh, no.
Nope.
We are magic people.
Only we had Celia.
So, for the record, what breaks invisibility?
Attacking using and let me see. Actually, let me pull the whole thing. This is not greater invisibility, right? This is just normal invisibility.
Yeah, normal.
Yeah, spellcasting and attacks. I know break it. Attacks cast as well. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so could I kind of retcon things to pop out a mage hand before the invisibility was cast?
Sure.
Okay. And I think here's a question: I guess like we get prepared if you said there's only like what, two people?
Two people in there that were noticed.
Okay. So let's see. Do you have any way of contacting us silently, Asma?
Lyra.
Can I technically talk to Tis because he's sort of a follower of me?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's probably how I would have relayed the information to Tis in the first place.
Yeah. Okay, so I think me and Tis can stack up outside near the front, and then you can go around the back. You enter first. If you see anybody or anything else, you relay that to us, and then we can just shock and awe, right? Like, I think the whole goal is that if we get up close and personal behind them, then they won't put up much of a fight.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'll just wait for your cue.
Yeah, so I will go around the back and see if she can get a little bit of their attention, but probably not in a way to actually sort of signify any perception, but more of to just ask them or inquire about an item or something.
Yes, you want to like head in and ask them about something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, so you head in. One of the shopkeepers looks up at you. The other one seems to be dusting. Yes.
I saw you sort of saying some kind of weird words to the around these statues. What were you saying?
We were just renewing our defensive charms.
Oh, are they? What are they? Just what do they do? How does the charm work?
They are private.
Oh.
I'm not about to tell some random stranger, particularly not a member of the guild, as you clearly are.
How would they know I'm a member of the guild?
You're literally famous.
Yeah,
why?
Good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Right, okay. Do I want to say I'm still part of the guild anymore or not? Because I don't really want to be part of it. I'm not really a fan of that guild anymore. I've had a bit of a falling out with them. They're not my kind of people.
Still, not going to explain to you defensive charms.
That's fine. I think I'll just. What do I have? I can just show them anything interesting about. Can I just walk up to a random item that they have all in their shop and just?
Yeah, I mean it's
I'll tell them
mostly potions, right? It's a potion shop.
Okay.
They've got a
I'll walk
couple
up
of
to them.
statues around as well.
Okay. I think I'll just try and start casual conversation about a potion.
Yeah, why don't you roll
try
a
to-
persuasion check to get them in conversation or something? Some social skill.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. Oh wait, what persuasion? I can't read.
Yeah. So they immediately turn on like salesperson charm and are like, "Oh yes, let me tell you about this potion of animal friendship and the beautiful animals that you can befriend. Don't you like animals? Animals are so cute, and here you can purchase this potion, and then they'll play with you for an hour."
Right, Life has a lot to say about that particular potion.
Mhm.
But I think just while they're like sort of trying to get her into it, I think she'll just sort of whisper and try and contact Tis to be like they're distracted.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should stack up like around the front window, and you have Misty Step, don't you, Tess? Oh boy. And how far away are these people individually?
Like from each other, from you.
From us, like individually.
House isn't that big. It's probably 60 feet back to front.
Okay.
Maybe 80 feet back to front. Yeah, 80 feet back to front. Sorry.
But would we be able to, based on the positioning of Lyra up in the front of the shop, would we be able to individually teleport behind each one of the sales associates?
Sure.
Oh hell yeah! All right. So y'all want to go, Marcus? We're going, Tis?
Tis, how do you feel about assassinating someone?
We're not assassinating. No. Hold up now. You're putting words in my mouth that have not happened yet.
Okay, fair. Yet. Got it. No problem. I mean,
should
he
we?
wanted to teleport behind these guys, like right behind them, the sales.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like I think we can like threaten, effectively just like shock and awe, right? Like we pop up behind them. No magic charms, no nothing is going to like help that, right? Yeah, fair.
So if we do use Misty Step, we would only end up right behind them, not in like a back area or anything like that.
Yeah, the back area is also only separated by a cloth. They do have a back area where they're brewing potions and things like that. Also, you can't see there into the back area because there's no windows. So it's hard to. It's some teleportation magic works on site. I don't know if Misty Step is one of them, but they have a curtain covering it, and then it's a back area. There's a chance you'd fall into a potion. Also, and it's not that far apart, so like they might be able to hear.
Lyra, run interference. If you want to Misty Step back and do it while they're distracted and head all the way back, then hopefully either Lyra or I can help the other get to the back as well.
Oh, okay. So you want to make sure the back is clear before.
They're distracted.
Well, here's the thing: is they're going to be, because like it doesn't matter if they are or aren't. If we are on top of them, then we threaten them, right? Like the goal is to effectively just like make things happen so fast that they don't have time to react, and we're able to manacle them.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Probably,
she told you about the trinkets that were Yeah, she told you about that they were doing magical defenses. She even tried to repeat the spell to you.
Let me see if I can do something about those first before we try to like corner them, because that could tip it in their favor.
Okay.
Whatever they do.
So if that's the case, then I might as well scope out the back too, because like there's nothing that's going to help or change that. So
Sure. So the back has no windows, no doors.
okay. Is it possible to use a tiny bit of like what is the material of the back made out of? Is it thick stone? Is it wood? Like a tent?
They have. It was originally a tent, but they've built it into stone. This is a very prosperous place. It turns out that healing potions are very valuable. So it is now a stone building. Also, they need like a sturdy surface for some of their brewing techniques that they use. So it's stone. There is a chimney. It's small, but
Okay. Would I? Let's see. Finding light mage hand, minor illusion. Okay, what is the roof made out of actually? Because the roof may be wood or have gaps in it.
that's a good question. Let me check. What I've got here.
Because especially if they're building, like if they are prosperous, and they may want to build like a second floor, which would mean that they would make the roof out of wood. So, in preparation for it to be floor, quote unquote.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Unfortunately, I think this is basically just like their brewing and shop place. They don't live here.
Okay.
So I think it's all stone. I'm sad to say.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Could I roll and inspect, and then if there aren't any holes that I can see through, could I instead just use part of like my alchemist kit and see if I can irradiate some of the stone?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. No holes you can see through.
Okay, so yeah, then I'll use part of the alchemist kit.
So you want to try and destroy their house?
Just a small part. I just want to be able to misty step in.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're doing this?
Yeah.
Tis, what are you doing?
Statues. Like, oh, these are new. I didn't see these the last time I was here. They look like
They've
those.
always been here.
What do they look like? Like, or what are they of?
They're like statues of warriors.
Yes, I've seen these before. I think you throw them on the ground and they become a warrior that fights with you. And I touch one.
Nothing happens.
I pick it up.
Please let it go.
No, I do know how they work. I've
Someone's
seen them before.
touching the house.
Oh fuck.
And immediately, they look at each other and they say, "I'm sorry, but we have to close up shop. Please leave now." Lyra, please leave.
I was just trying to think more about this potion. I really love animals. I've got some that I need to.
Out.
Oh no.
I think it's now or never.
Yeah, I think go for it. I guess Lyra's gonna start just sort of. Just ask us a final question. Oh well, how much is this potion? Just before I leave.
Go now. You can purchase it tomorrow. It's late. We're closed or something. Whatever. Go. Someone's trying to break into our house.
Do you want some help?
Yes, if you bring him here, if you bring whoever it is here bound and gagged, we will give you a discount on future purchases.
Okay, I'll do my best. Okay. I guess I'll start heading toward the gesture to Tis, like, hey, do you want to get in on this action a little bit? Right, yeah, I guess we'll go.
And what's fair is my appearance has actually changed drastically enough since I was down in the temple that I could be theoretically unrecognizable.
Yeah, I think you are. Or at least partially. So they usher you. One of them ushers you out, and then he's around the back and starts following you around the back towards where Zuriel is trying to break into the house with acid. And the other one moves to the back room and sort of stares at the spot where Zuriel is going to eventually be able to enter. Because they had alarm spells cast on their house. Shocking, I know.
Oh, very smart.
They're alchemists. They run a shop.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
yeah, as you guys are running around, Lyra, Tis, what do you guys want to do to stop the? Do you want to stop this somehow? Like, like you're about to turn the corner and see Zerial trying to break into the house.
You know what? I think Live's gonna draw a bow. She's gonna pretend that she's gonna try and help.
Okay.
But with her aim, she probably doesn't even have to pretend.
Ouch.
Try and help.
I hope you get a critical hit on him. Just...
Ouch. It hurts.
It should. Absolutely. So Tis, what about you? Anything that you're doing?
Try to get Zerial in custody. I also intend to subdue the person that came outside with us whenever we get a chance.
Okay.
Or whenever
Yeah.
it's, yeah. That's
Yeah.
my held action, so to speak.
Yeah, so they turn the corner, and there! Pointed Zerial. And immediately unleash a swarm at you, Zerial.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yep. Immediately. +9s. Cool. 10 of them. Jesus. What's your AC?
You know what? I'm going to counterspell that as a reaction if I can.
Sure. Yeah, I'll allow that. Roll in intelligence check.
Okay.
Or what level are you casting it at? Oh, you can't break it at this level. Never mind. You're an arcane fighter.
Oh yeah.
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 It's
No, okay.
intelligence check. Just straight intelligence, not a saving throw.
Do that. Oh,
Nice.
wait, that's saving throw, but same thing.
Oh yeah, it's you just have a +3. You don't have proficiency, right? Yeah. Nice. Absolutely. The spell is canceled.
And I will lower that, and I will try to run away, but I'm going to run away towards where I see Tis and Lyra.
So you're actually running straight towards the person who's attacking you.
Yes, but I'm going to make it seem like I'm running past because I do want to be caught.
You want to be caught?
Well, not necessarily caught. I just know that they're friends, and if they're up to something, then they're up to something. So, like, I feel like my knowledge of trickery at this point allows me to just kind of roll with the plan because, you know, come on,
Yeah.
it is literally the same thing that I do all the time.
Yeah, of course.
But just run with it maneuver.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's a spellcaster. The alchemist shouts. Lyra, what do you do?
This is just above game. Do you think we could get away? Well, Tess, what I think. Do you think we could get away with, for example, going behind a blind spot that the alchemist can't see us, and sort of hiding Zero, and then if I casted like major image of him, and then go to them and say we've caught him, and because they know he's a spellcaster, they don't know that I am. They may think that he's done that rather than us, so they could still see us as legitimately trying to capture him. If that makes sense.
Not a bad idea.
Yes.
Just, do you have thoughts?
Caught, and then let him get away that way, like having them
Yeah, so
think
if I,
that he made it.
I sort of dispel the spell afterwards, or just let it run its course, I suppose. Then they may well think that it wasn't us who was actually involved. That they know he's a spellcaster now, so they could have thought it was him.
Or I could even.
Yeah, I think that works. Or I think it would work.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I think we'll sort of try and chase Zerial into maybe back behind a counter, or where a blind spot would be for the alchemists.
I mean, I don't. So, like, you're outside the shop at this point, right? You never got into it. You just sort of are. You're running around the back
or like
behind
behind
now. So...
the corner of the shop or something like that.
Yeah, behind the corner of the shop. Okay. Yeah. So I like this. I think, Tis, if you are aware of this plan, the best thing you can do is probably attempt to distract the shopkeep, the alchemist. Um, mhm.
I try to do so I could try to strike Zerial non-lethally, just with my open hand, and do that thing that they do in wrestling when they're like close to each other or have each other in the headlock, where you like whisper plans mid fake fight,
Mhm.
and just tell him to run around the corner, so
Mm.
that so Lyra could give chase.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Why don't you roll a performance roll? Okay, give me 1 second.
Oh wait, I completely forgot. Do I roll something strange, something wild because of the counter spell?
Yes, you do.
Okay. That may or may not help. That may make it infinitely worse, and it may help. So like,
Find out.
it's 10 into 70.
Okay, give me 1 second. Loading my damn thing that I always forget about. Here we go. 70 and 10, you say?
Yes, sir.
You've had a long rest, yes?
Yes.
Cool.
I think that's one of the more terrifying questions I've been asked for the wild magic table.
No. Sorry, just to be clear, the rate of wildness increases the more times you use this per long rest.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Cool. You gain the ability to speak with animals for 1 hour.
All right, fair enough.
Sorry, I shouldn't say the rate of wildness. Actually, the rate of wildness decreases, but the extremeness increases.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, something strange is a D20 roll. Just to explain the system to you, something strange is a D20 roll. If it's your first one of the day, then the range is 1 to 5 for extreme, 4 to 9 for moderate, and 10 to 20 for nuisance. And if it's your second one of the day, that the nuisance decreases and the moderate increases and the extreme increases. And if it's your third one of the day, the moderate decreases and the extreme increases and the nuisance is the smallest. And then if you go beyond that, then the nuisance disappears and it's only moderate or extreme. If you go beyond that, it's only extreme. Right?
Huh,
that
that's really interesting to know. Yeah.
Yep. Just sort of, just so you have an understanding of how I'm running it.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Yes, you can talk to animals for the next hour. Speaking of speak with animals.
Yeah, that doesn't change much, but I'm just glad that it happened. So
yeah, probably bugs in your case. Okay, yeah. 13 beats by 9. So Marcus, Tis is able to fool the alchemist into thinking about your scuffle with Zerial, and you're able to communicate with Zerial what you want Zerial to do. So Zerial runs around the corner. I feel like what we need now, Lyra, is you to roll a sleight of hand check at advantage because of Tiss's help.
Yeah. Right. Come on, don't let me down. Well, myself, don't let me down.
Woo.
26. Gotta love it. Yeah, absolutely. So you cast Major Image is the idea here, yes? Okay. Let me double check my Major Image stuff.
And I jump into the portable hole, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. And let me check. I hate to do this, and I'm sorry to do this, but I have to check my Alchemist special abilities. See if I have anything that allows me to see through illusion. I don't think so, but I do have to check. I can make a potion that allows me to see through illusions, but I have to have thought to have drunk it, and so that does not happen here. Beautiful. Excellent. Well, then from that perspective, you now have a captured Zerial form.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to shout to the alchemist, oh, we got him.
You did? And they come around the corner and look at you sort of out of breath. You got him! That's great! That's great. Well, let's give him to. Why don't you come with me and we'll deliver him to Songshore.
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah. I think Lara's just gonna drag him up. Try and just pull him along. Like, and just sort of shout insults at him.
Absolutely. Yeah. Major Image, she's totally fooled. So you guys start moving that way. And I think from inside the shop, you hear the other alchemists shout, "Hey, why don't you guys come in? I'll get the guards I'll get Songshore's private army here as soon as possible."
Oh, yeah, we should probably just go for the place instead.
Right now,
I am in the hole, yeah.
Around the corner.
But this is
You're
like
in
just
the
kind of
portal.
out of game. Yeah.
This is the attendant that is still outside that said that, right?
The one from inside shouted to the one outside. The one outside was like, "Let's go deliver this idiot to Songshore."
Okay, then Tis will say to the one that's outside, yeah, you go alert them. We can stay here and make sure he doesn't get away.
Yeah, roll a deception check.
Oh wait, yeah, no, you shouldn't, because your thing. No. Remember?
Interesting. Are you happy about this moment?
Are you really giving up everything?
We'll see.
What?
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
I think this is actually slipping up here.
Interesting.
And yeah, drawing on a talent rather than knowingly doing the thing that he's not supposed to.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry. I'm like a little like really like okay, yeah.
Good. I'm glad that you went into this aware. I wouldn't want to have caught you making a mistake or something like that. And had it been a mistake, I would have paused and talked to you about it. But if you're aware of what you just did, excellent. Then yeah, absolutely. The alchemist just sort of looks at you and says, "Right, I'll go get them from Songshore's estate," and just turns and starts running off, leaving you two with the other alchemist and the bound and gagged Zerial illusion.
Tis, I think, realized the second after they do it what they did. But we need to find Zerial and we need to get in there and get everything we can, like now.
Wow.
Nope, he's in a portable hole.
Yeah. And I have no psychic or tethered connection too.
No, not to here.
But
How do I know he's in there?
Yeah, you would know he's in there. You communicate with him.
Okay, I just run over real quick if I didn't poke my head in.
Yeah, and like as soon as a portable hole will open, I will spring out because I would assume that like we're
sounds
attacking.
Us.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, one of them is gone. The other one's still in there. We have until Songshore's people get here to get everything we can and get out.
Okay. So, and I think we're just going to like I'm gonna go around the front. I'm gonna Misty step in, and like we're just gonna rush it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in and spear tackle the attendant.
Yeah, absolutely. So so you want to tackle the attendant? Yeah, roll an athletics check at advantage. Not Arcana.
I mean, it is a form of magic doing things correctly.
Yeah, sure. No problem. It is a form of magic.
Aesthetic magic.
Yeah. So you dive in and tackle, and I think as you do, you're Tis. Yeah, and you grab this person and knock him down. Zero. What do you want to do?
Beeline for the back. Anybody that would be back there, and we should destroy the charms too whenever we get a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. So you make it to the back. I mean, this person's grappled by Tis. Tis, you know what you're doing at this point. You're pretty good at grappling people. So Zero, that gives you plenty of time to just dump stuff into the portable hole. So you're just gonna steal what you can steal. Sound good?
Yeah, and we made sure that the back is clear, right? Like there's nobody popping out of there.
No one yet.
Okay. Could I take a peek inside just to see?
Yep, you don't see anyone. Just
Okay.
lots of cauldrons bubbling in various forms and bottling
Oh,
processes.
would I be able to identify
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
of them that would be specifically powerful?
This is such it's a good shop, but like anything that's going to be powerful is going to be like custom made to order. But
Perfect.
basically they just have a well-oiled brewing system for brewing healing potions a lot. Right? It's sort of like what you guys are trying to set up at the Temple of the Six. Almost
So,
all these are healing potions. There's a couple of other like curiosity things, like potions of animal friendship, potion of invisibility.
how much space does this entire brewing process take up?
Yeah, I mean it's about a 50 by 50 square foot room.
Okay, and it's in all of it is being used?
Yep.
Okay, damn. All right. Well, because I was thinking, like, totally, if we instead of stealing the healing potions, we steal the thing to make the healing potions, we can outfit it to our cart and just walk away with their entire business.
I mean, you're in the process of setting something that's very similar to this up right now, so
fair, yeah,
yeah. So I don't think you need to,
but yeah, I think we will see if we can identify which potions would be best to take using my alchemist knowledge, and then just slap them all in.
Can you make an alchemist tools check with intelligence?
Okay. We are doing this with its 23.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no problem to identify what the most powerful healing potions here are, and how to get them, and you do so.
Perfect.
Lyra, I want to ask you though, what are you doing now that Tiss has revealed themselves as being an enemy of Hubert Songshore? Are you going to reveal yourself as an ally to Tiss, or are you going to attempt to keep up the ruse and attack Tiss, or what's the plan here?
What's the person who was outside with me doing?
They ran off to go report this to Hubert Songshore and get someone to come here and arrest Zero.
I'm gonna try and go after this, but I'm gonna drag Zeal's fake body around because I don't want him to disappear when Alchemist can't see him and then think I did it. Think that I'm part of it. So I'm gonna drag him with us still.
Yeah, roll deception.
Yeah.
You could even drag him in front of the window, pretend not to notice. Like, would be hilarious, but
yeah. And I mean, I think we'll let that ride, but for now, like, we think that like you get away with this. You are not under suspicion. Zerial and Tiss are, but they already were. And Zerial and Tiss, you succeed in escaping with more healing potions and healing potions of various sizes. And
hooray for thievery!
That, I think, is where we're going to take our 10-minute break. So. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a good time. We're certainly having a good time over here. And, as always, I like to take a moment at the top of the second part of the show to encourage you, yes, you, to do something nice for someone. I don't really care who. I think that you're in a better position to know what is doing nice for someone, what that nice thing is, than I am in your own life. And I think that you're in a better position to know who could use that nice thing in your own life. Just on a personal note, I will say that for whatever reason, over the past several days, every morning I've woken up and there's been a message of someone thanking me for something, and it has made me feel infinitely better about pretty much everything. I wasn't even feeling bad, but just waking up and having people say nice things to you is fucking great, and I recommend it. And if you cannot have that happen to you, I recommend doing it to someone else because that also feels great. So, yes, it's an easy thing to do, and it can alleviate some of the suffering of the world, and that's a good thing because the world is a really hard place to be in a lot of the time. So if you can find a way to alleviate suffering, I recommend it. Also, we have other shows on this channel. We have one other show on this channel right now. It's on Sunday afternoons at 11 a.m. PST. These people are dealing with all sorts of political problems and are thinking about maybe going to space on the same planet at the same time. Chosen few. Figuring out what's going on in their lives, and we'll see where they go. I don't know where they're going to go. We're off this week, so the next show actually is this show next Thursday. But nonetheless, check out that show on Sundays. If you're enjoying this thing, you'll probably enjoy that thing. They're a little different, but not. But they're also a little bit the same. So come check it out. And with that, so Celia, what is your status as they are performing this heist? Are you calmly waiting? Are you pacing nervously back and forth? Are you expecting them somewhere? What are you doing while they're off doing this crazy thing?
I think Saya is worried, but she's trying not to be because they're big boys. They can look after themselves. So I think she's probably trying to keep busy by making mushrooms, and she probably ends up going way overboard and making like 50 mushrooms or something ridiculous. And she probably gets a bit like, oh god, we're not even going to be able to carry all of these, and she might like pop in on Bealdor maybe and see how he is.
You're nervous.
Am I? I'm not nervous.
How many mushrooms have you made?
Like a few. Do you want some?
What do you do when do you make mushrooms?
When I need them. Or when I'm nervous.
Nervous, that's exactly right. I think if you make 50 of them, that is more than you could possibly consume at once. It's more than your friends could consume at once. And it's more than is even practically useful for you at once. So I have to ask, why are you nervous?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I get worried about my friends, and like it's been a couple hours since I've like seen them, and last time that happened, Tis got kidnapped, so I'm vaguely concerned, but like I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense. Tis is strong; they can take care of themselves. I'm sure that they'll be fine. Zerial and may get them, captured at some point.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Not at all.
It seems unlikely to me that they'll even spot Lyra, let alone catch her.
That is true. She is very good at staying out of trouble. So. And
last time you got captured, she got you out of trouble.
She did, yeah. She's very good at that. But since I am nervous and I have nothing to do right now, is there anything you'd like help with, or just want to hang out? I don't know.
Sure, of course, we can hang out. I'm done for the day. I wasn't going to do any more of this cataloging of this stuff. Museum's doing well.
Oh, good. Do you have much interaction with the guild?
No.
Okay, that's probably good. Okay, well, that doesn't count as guild anymore.
Okay. I met Lenia. We went on a date once. It didn't go well.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it happens. Just
well, for
interested
her, she's missing out.
I am very interested in history and how things fit together and how things work. And she is interested in, well, not history. She doesn't care about history.
I get the impression Lenny is very much a person in the now.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard from Grastic recently? Was he around?
Yeah,
we
he's
left him.
out back. He's taking a nap.
And what about Soropi?
I haven't seen her.
Oh, okay. Last time we spoke, I got the impression she might be staying here, but
She hasn't stopped by.
okay. Well, I hope she's safe.
Me too.
I'm sure she's fine.
I
Once
guess.
again, she can look after herself.
She
can't
did once kidnap me, so I'm like a little bit mixed on how much I want her to be safe. But I guess I want her to be safe.
Wait, when did she kidnap you?
A little while ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, don't worry. I just gave up your location very easily, so there wasn't any like pain and suffering. I just like told her what I knew, and then she moved on. But she was all
Okay.
like scary and threatening.
To be honest, I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, I
keep
figured you
yourself
could take care
safe.
of yourselves. It's not in my contract to protect you, and I would not be good at it because I am very weak compared to you.
You know what? That is fair.
You could handle Soropi, and it seems like you did.
Well, actually, Soropi's pretty chill now. We made up, so
Great. Cool. She's redeemed herself.
yeah, I would say so. She helped me defeat Adius at great cost to
Nice.
herself.
I like
So
him.
that is not the reaction I was expecting, but cool.
Yeah, he sent us fancy tea.
Oh, we did do that. Yes, he was quite nice for a time.
I thought he was your teacher.
Well, he was, and then he tried to kill me multiple times. So we're not really friendly.
That's funny. How like people have like multiple sides to them.
Yeah. I find that strange because I don't feel like I do, but I guess some people would say I do. So
I mean, I just think he was being really nice.
yeah, well, that's what I thought too. He wasn't, but
he just I don't know. Maybe it was manipulative or something, but like he was always nice to me.
I'm glad of that because he could be really horrible when he was horrible. So yeah, but I'm glad you're safe, and I'm glad you seem to be doing well here.
Yeah. Question for you: do you think there's much more in the tomb to get?
I think there's a lot more in the tomb to discover, history-wise, but I wouldn't say it's particularly tangible. There's lots of history written on the walls, and artwork that is actually part of the temple itself. But I'm not sure there's much more to take out to bring to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, I noticed that we'd been sort of slowing the process of giving things, and that's fine. I'm not expecting more. This is already a major successful adventure for the Order of Bygone Studies curators, underappreciated relicologist, and archivists. But I felt that I needed to ask before we start, packing up shop and moving on.
Well, if you like, next time we go in, I can see if I can maybe copy or get images of some of the artwork.
I mean, I
See if
always
that would help
appreciate
you.
it when you do that. That makes a huge difference to us, of course. But this is we threw a lot of our money into supporting you and this team and making this happen, and it has paid off. It's been working out great for us. We've been able to start excavating other places as well. We even have one that we have exclusive rights to, southwest of here.
Wow, well done.
Yeah, which is great. And so everything's working out great for us. It's just with the rate slowing down here, I'm kind of thinking that maybe And like, I don't mean to
Well,
say without you. If you want to come, we would love to employ you guys again to do this again at another place if you wanted to. But I also don't want. You seem to be like I mean, you have problems with the guild now, I guess, as you said. But like, I don't know. I just want, and it's not now or anything like that. I'm just like,
open invitation.
exactly. You are you are by far the best employees that we've ever had for the guild, or freelancers that we've ever had for our organization. And so, I'm just saying that I wouldn't mind if you who wanted to, and the others too.
Well, that would be lovely, and we should definitely keep in touch if you do go. Actually, I wanted to thank you because I feel like I've built quite a lot of support here. I've built myself a bit of a niche, so I'll probably stick around. But if you ever come back and want to discover more, or
Oh, I mean, I'm not leaving right
just
away.
want somewhere to stay, then
Probably a couple of weeks. It's not like a
oh yeah.
like immediately or whatever. And so don't like think I'm gone or something like that. I'm around.
Well, actually, right now, we've got to go on a little trip, just a little one. Hopefully we'll be back soon. But we should see you before we go. But if we don't,
Oh, I'm not going to go before you guys return, obviously.
oh, okay, good.
Don't. I want to be able to say goodbye to the whole team.
Yeah, I would hate for this to be goodbye.
And don't make a big deal about this yet or anything, obviously.
If you like that, okay.
I think
But
you
in the spirit of celebrating a new chapter, shall I make some berries for us both?
Sure. I would love a raspberry or two. That sounds very refreshing. I know it gets cool in the night, but it's still honestly pretty hot here in general, and so like anything to get a little bit of juice flowing.
Okay, I'll sit down and start doing that.
And you hear celebratory sounds as Zerial and Lyra and Tis return. Oh, where would you have gone?
Said we were going to go.
Oh yes, at the rendezvous point. Okay, absolutely. Celia, would you be at the rendezvous point? But then by the time that they get there,
I feel like Celia was expecting the worst, so yes, because she's very anxious about this.
Okay. So Celia, you are at the rendezvous point, and you hear a horse, Tempest, as well as Zerial and Tis and Lyra making their way towards you.
I'll give them a quick scan over once they're close enough, and just be like, "Good, you're all here in one piece. That's good." Yep. Acting like it's nothing. Acting like she wasn't stressed at all.
And for our cart, we have a lovely stockpile of healing potions now.
Well, oh, thank God, because honestly, those were so expensive from the guild. I really don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
How many did you get?
You know what? We've yet to find out. So I guess we take them inside the war wagon.
We need to count in the little time we have before we're set up on by
okay,
Hubert Songshore's army.
Pay it off.
Oh my God, that's really brilliant. I mean, hell to the yeah.
Did like actually just raid an entire healing potion shop, so like makes sense. But like,
I am going to shamelessly claim so many healing potions.
Feel free. It's not like we're running out, apparently. Oh, all right, and we can store these all in the
war wagon.
I definitely think like we could even have like its own. Well, I don't know. Is it possible to do like a character sheet for the wagon, or like what would be like best to organize this stuff? Because it would have.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have really item sheets, but we'll figure it out. I'm just adding a war wagon sheet right now. I'm gonna put it in the characters section. Cool. Feel free to add art when you want. I'll add in some stats as we need them.
Absolutely. And then we'll have like a shared inventory that we can top it all off with. Damn, you have a lot of healing. I didn't even know you had that many healing potions.
Oh no, this is what I'm taking from what you got. I already
fair,
had
fair.
11 greater ones, but I'm adding.
Yeah, fair. So,
Because I think, as far as I know, I'm the only one with a bag.
all right.
So the rest can stay in the wagon.
And that's how many you have, Marcus, or is that what you're saying? Okay, yeah, because I was wondering, but yeah, no, I think like we could totally just keep whatever we got in the wagon too, so. And then we'll edit it. Like if we have the ability for all of us to edit as we need, we could just take whatever we need and then edit it.
Feel free. I'll be editing this over the course of the week, but feel free.
Cool. So I'd say that was a very successful heist. The only thing now is like I think like we because I didn't hear any of this, but I know that Asma, aka Lyra, definitely did. Like the whole oath thing. I think we're familiar with his oath, right?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
And that is quite the point of contention, I guess.
Hang on. So do you guys tell Celia that?
I think it's up to Lyra and a whole because I don't know yet. You don't know yet. I think it's between just them.
So Lyra and Tis, you mentioned that Tis may have broken their oath to Yemis.
Hell no. Not yet, at least. It's very much a...
Oh, I was saying Lyra won't mention it because she doesn't feel like it's her place to disclose something like that.
Mm-hmm. So I think we have that moment where like Celia like says, "Did anything happen?" and Lyra just looks at Tis, but Tis says,
Fair.
Okay, cool. Well, at least everyone's whole, complete, not dismembered. Not that I was worried about that at all. Anyway, maybe we should make some plans for what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I think we should start heading north. Like we should figure out if we can cross the desert into the terrains towards the mountains. So,
do we want to take any friends with us, or is it just us?
Ooh, good point.
Not that we have that many friends, but like,
yeah,
options.
We could rope Seropia into this. Who else? That is true.
But do we want this, or are we planning on like an actual massacre, or are we planning on scouting?
So I had mentioned before, Akarut does owe me a favor, and I think a good favor would be to let me duel him for control of his army. I think that's one potential way out that we have. That's a lot more simple than fighting an undead horde.
I mean, the real question type.
Do you think you can win?
Yeah, like that's the real one because
thanks, guys. No, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I mean, like I know that this is strong, but also
I'm kidding. He's a god. He's an undead god. It's so dubious. That's all I have. It's super dubious. The only thing I have going for me is that he would be the only one on his side.
You know what? Actually, this is an interesting point. I wonder if there would be somebody that we can seek out or recruit to help us kill him. Like, I think that there has to be somewhere up in the north. So I think what we do, we set a voyage to the nearest town that isn't completely overrun yet. Like,
are there any towns? We are in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is like we go up north in the general direction, try to find because I'm assuming that we have at least like one of us has a general knowledge of the area, right?
I don't think anyone's from Prion, but possibly.
Oh damn! All right.
No, I know Brian. Well, I am from Brian, but
Okay. Can we? Oh yeah. Well,
The
no, because
pool,
it
yeah.
only works in.
no, because I've
No.
never been there before though.
It only works inside the temple.
Oh, the
Remember
Oh yeah,
pool
that
only
thing only
works.
works inside the temple, and if I
Oh,
use
okay.
my teleportation spell,
You need to have been there
I've
before,
never
yeah.
been there, so it's
Oh,
dubious.
speaking of, make a teleport pad on the wagon. That's gonna be like a thing that we should just have.
Ooh, good idea.
Yeah, so we could just return to the wagon if we need be.
Also, you know how you were talking about like stone inside that
Mhm.
inside that room? It just made me think that I do actually have stone shape now, so I could have helped you there, but then like
Oh, okay.
I was not there.
Fair enough. But
Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
no. So yeah, I think we go to the nearest town that's not overrun. We find out if there are rumors of anybody who is fighting back against the like sort of undead army, and then we seek to recruit them to help us. Like I think what we may be looking for is a legendary fighter. Yeah.
Another paladin.
Absolutely. Like a paladin, cleric, like any of the zappy upworldly power to scourge all the demons from the earth. Oh yeah, true. Oh, we do have to take him out too. Oof.
So it's the middle of the night. Do you guys want to camp or just start walking north?
I
Heat, so to speak.
and we can rest inside the caravan and have the horse pull it if we have multiple steeds. Or do we have just one? Okay.
The wagon came with steeds.
Okay. Cool.
I'm happy to like steer or whatever because obviously I haven't done anything.
Oh, and we can take shifts because like I only have the 4 hours. So
Celia, can you do me a favor and make a Arcana check for free?
I can do, yeah. Arcana. 17.
Easy. Yeah, so you know that the closest town to here that's like a significant town is a town called Rahotol. And it is not far from both the Oracle Lookout Tower and also Voxia, both of which are spellcasters' study places, towers where people research and study. The Oracle Lookout looks out upon the withered expanse where no life lives. It is where the desert becomes a barren rock and famously quite hard to live in. And it's further north of Rahotol, and Voxia is to the east of Rahotol, and you are south of Rahotol. I'll give you a little mini. I'm going to put this in the Discord actually, but I'm going to give you a little mini map.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since Salia had actually studied history before, as well as magic, would she know of any people who may know about the Six and like about those gods and possibly about Akarut?
Yeah, certainly you would know people who are knowledgeable about that. Probably spellcasters, maybe one of your teachers even. You certainly had a teacher who was interested in ancient and dead religions.
Okay. And would they be in any of those places?
Oracle Lookout, you would probably have the most luck at. Although I will say that Adius is also from the Oracle Lookout, so take that for what you will.
Well, you know, the chances of having more than one evil teacher is kind of a bit higher, maybe. I'll mention this to the others just to say, if we did want help for fighting an undead god. Possibly people who know said undead god exists would be a good place to start, in which case I know where to find some.
Yep. I'm 110% down. So.
Okay. So
We're
the plan
going
is
to the
to
big
head.
city.
Do you want to go through the town of Rahotol, or do you want to avoid it, and then go straight up to and just head up straight to the Oracle Lookout? What's the plan here?
If it's the quickest way to the Oracle Lookout, we'll go straight through.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. Jack,
Mhm.
can you do me a favor and roll 3d20?
You got it. I don't know what this is for, but it's terrifying. There you go.
Excellent. Emily, can you do me a favor and roll 2d12?
Yeah.
If you get doubles, reroll.
Sorry, roll what?
2d12, but if you get doubles, reroll one of them. Perfect.
We're in a 12.
Wow, 312, 312.
Yeah, I guess it just really likes those numbers recently.
Oh, okay. So you guys are traveling at night, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's watching? Is it Celia is on watch? Sitting on the cart as the rest of you nap? Celia, you see a large, not large, medium-sized white tent.
In a place I'm expecting a medium-sized white tent, or just in general random tent?
Looks like probably a traveler on their way somewhere in a tent that has stopped for the night.
Okay, can I see any light inside, or is it just they're probably asleep?
No, there is a light inside. They seem to be reading.
Okay.
You
I
also
guess
smell fresh.
I'll. Sorry.
You also smell food, fresh.
Ooh. Okay, I guess I'll kind of like hop off the cart quietly and still it, and not trying not to be weirdly creepy, but kind of stand outside the tent and clapping quietly and go hello.
Oh, wasn't expecting visitors. Hold on. You hear shuffling and scuffling inside. Lizard folk opens the tent flap, and she has a hood on, but is still clearly, let's say, well muscled and strong, and looks confident. And says,
I don't recognize her.
"No, you don't. There's no way you would recognize her." And she looks at you and she says, "Greetings, traveler."
Hi. My name's Salia. I just I'm with that, and she points at the cart behind her and just goes, I'm traveling north, but I saw you stopped, and it seemed like a good place to say hi.
Sure, yes. Might I inquire as to why you are going north? And are you aware of the north?
Oh, very much aware. That's why we're going.
You're going to join?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm just checking because
Sorry.
I've met a couple.
You have?
Yes.
Are they really, really bad?
Sorry. Hi. My name is Monica, Captain Monica, actually. And I work for the Grand Accord. I'm a member of what's called the Order of Starlight. We're a peacekeeping task force, and I was sent to investigate what's going on in the north. I'm not judging, but when you say no vehemently, does that mean you're not going to join the Undead Horde?
I am definitely not joining the Undead Horde. I might actually have some information that you might not know
I would love
about the Undead Horde.
Okay.
We're the ones that released it.
Yes.
Well, I may know where they have come from and what their plan is.
From the tomb in the south, some adventurers seem to have released him, or treasure hunters. I don't know which. I'm not judging. It happens. But
Okay.
some adventurers seem to have released it from a tomb into the south of here. I believe they're calling it the Tomb of Akarut, and the leader of the horde
Yes, they are.
referred to himself as Akarut, an ancient deity, long since gone.
Yes.
I don't know. Are you asleep?
No, I was about to use Dreamer's Thorn.
Great. Then no. Yeah. Then no problem. You are hearing this.
I'd shout, "It was me" from the cart.
Yeah. Well, that is why we know so much about it.
Come out. I have food. It's not local. I don't know if you guys prefer local food, but I'm from south of here, so I have fresh fish. If anyone's hungry.
Oh, Tis would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, Captain.
And I can.
And
Sorry,
just
I can add to the food with my berry wand.
yeah, sure, absolutely. Nice, useful. I like it. So many magical objects that people have, they just use
Use
them
it to make friends.
but something that can actually feed people and improve the quality of something. That's delicious. Does it just make berries or other things?
Oh, it makes plants and fauna in general, but
Very,
I mostly use it for berries.
very useful. So you released
Thanks.
an undead person? Uh, you're a paladin? No, I think we're fine. We've got fish. It's fresh.
Yeah, I'm a paladin.
Um,
Okay. Anyway, so because of this unfortunate mishap, Akarut seems quite friendly, I guess. I mean, as friendly as a death god can be towards us. So we thought we'd have a crack at seeing whether we can make him less violent in some way. He did say that he was planning on killing everyone, which is not a good thing.
true. Your intent is to
Maybe
make
we could at
Death
least
Knight less
lessen the blow. Yeah.
Your intent is to make the Death Knight less violent.
Well, I'm honestly not really sure what we're planning on doing, because quite frankly, seems
That
like we
is
just
true.
wandered danger a lot. But
Let me tell you, I've
if
worked
you
with
have
a
a
lot of
plan,
hands of the Starlight Order, and frequently that is their mode of operation. They go into a situation gung ho to do something, not fully aware of what
yes.
it is.
Well, sometimes it works. Most of the time,
A
we all
shockingly
survive.
large amount of time it works.
So
I have no idea why that could be. It doesn't work in any other aspect of life except for apparently adventuring.
I agree completely. And honestly, I think we're crazy for this, but
Well,
we're going. So
it happens. Okay. So you are going to attack a horde. Are you aware of the size of the horde?
oh, we're not going to attack the horde directly. First we were planning on going to one of the communities around here, see whether we could find some people I used to know who might know about Akarut. Maybe not know that he's active right now, but might be willing to help if they
Okay.
found out.
What?
Obviously, support is helpful.
Okay. He's overrun Rahotol, and that is currently his base of operations. And
Oh,
everyone in that town is part of his army.
right.
I didn't get good numbers, but it looks around 12 or 14,000 strong.
Um, oh,
Yes.
Do you know about the Oracle Lookout? Have you heard anything from them?
I haven't ventured that far north. I was heading east, actually, to Voxia, but if you're headed that way, I could go with, I guess. If you don't have objection to company, I could use.
No, the company would be very grateful. But there's probably a high chance that they have been, haven't they?
Spellcasters are tricky, and communities of them are even more tricky.
Yes, that's true. We should hope that they're okay.
I am sorry, she looks at Tis, to inform you of this.
Sorry, it's probably me, huh?
I am sorry is a word that has multiple definitions. I was using it to express sympathy, not guilt. She reaches out and, like, touches your shoulder.
Whose?
Tiss's.
Is she from Celestia?
Yes. She's wearing Celestian garb.
Tis will just kind of look at her and nod. And probably just head back to the cart.
She offers you some fish. It's well prepared. She's a pretty good cook.
Time since I've had seafood prepared this well. It's been a very long time. Too long.
Yes, I have a friend who's a very good cook who taught me some tricks of the trade. No, actually. Well, she was born in Sunera, but she joined the Celestian military for a while before military life disagreed with her, and then ended up joining the Starlight Order.
Interesting. You all do good work, from what I'm aware of.
We try. It's hard. You guys have been up here in the north for a while?
Southwest. We're just making our way north.
Yeah, you guys might not have heard there's a war. Prion has declared war against Celestra. Celestra has declared war against Prion. Celestra has also declared war against the Starlight Order. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, you may be aware, but you may not be aware. There are other planets, and they have life on them.
That I did know. The wars, I didn't.
It's hard to see so much death. Prion isn't yet at war with the Grand Accord, thankfully, but they are unhappy.
Is anything happening to Celestian expatriates? I don't know if we're expatriates at this point. Is Prion treating us any differently?
There aren't enough of us for it to be a thing. And I haven't really seen many laws. I didn't spend much time in Uxie at all. I sort of was in and out. Yes, happy to, well, sad to be the bearer of bad news, but happy to be the bearer of fish. So, north, figuring out what's going on here, and then attempting to do something about it. I have some reinforcements on call that I might call in, but not enough to wage a war. So I'm looking for like, I guess I'm looking for a surgical way to solve the problem.
Taking on Akarut.
Sure, yeah, that sounds good. Um,
Wait, seriously?
yeah, I mean he's a Death Knight. Seems like a paladin versus a Death Knight. It's a classic battle for the ages.
He does
Wait.
also owe me a favor.
That's good.
What's this about like the Death Knight though? Because like last time I checked, he was like very lich-like, right?
Through Cultics, like, taking him over and, like, subsuming him into Cultics.
Wait,
But he himself...
sorry, did you say something about a god?
Cultics? Yeah, yes, he's... Oh, is that new information?
Yes.
He's connected to Cultics. I think, permanently, I think.
Sorry, I'm
think
not super familiar
Celia
with my Prion deities. Cultics?
Celia kind of puts up her head. She probably like sat on the floor after that heavy news, but she puts up her head and says, "If you want to know about the gods, I'm probably the best person to ask."
I thought everyone here worshipped Marilla.
Most Prions do. But actually, before Maria, there were the six, and Quiltix was one of the six. He is known for death, so quite apt that Akarut chose him.
This question may have no meaning to you, but do you know what class deity we're dealing with?
I know they're very powerful. Some of the first.
Okay. So, like, at least tier 3 or 4.
Could you tell me more about the tiers? Maybe I can help you.
I'm not really an expert in them, but this is so... I am so far from an expert in this, but my basic understanding is that lots of things claim to be a god. They more or less claim that based on their ability to access and manipulate a resource internally, in different levels of manipulating that resource inside oneself, grant one different abilities that, yeah, it's akin to godhood, I guess. We could call them gods, but it's also just like it's a skill or something that's learned. One can become a god. You absorb these things internally; they become part of you, and you use them and manipulate them to become to accomplish things, and those things are seen as... It's very weird to talk about this. Like, I'm a cleric, and so I worship a deity, and then the whole thing is like messy, if that makes sense.
Yes, I'm sorry, I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No,
But
no, no. I
would
mean,
that
ever since
be
joining the Order of Starlight, I've had to like deal with this a little bit, and it's a little,
strange?
yeah. I mean, you get used to it, I guess, but like it's still a little strange. I think that's the right word.
Would you say manipulating those resources would require followers?
Yeah. So once you're a tier 1 or tier 2 deity, more followers can give you more ability to manipulate those things. So, and also more powerful followers can give you more powerful ability to manipulate those internal resources. My understanding is again a little limited, but
Okay. Well, in that case, we know a tier 1 or 2 god very personally. But what would you say is like the main characteristics of a higher tier god? What sets them apart?
mhm. Well, I mean, really, you need to talk to like an expert in this. but the ability to rewrite reality is certainly one of the higher things. Um, being able to be in multiple places at once, that's usually seems like a tier 3 thing. Um, being able to change the laws of magic themselves, and the laws of the universe. There's even theoretically a deity that could make up down and down up.
Okay. Thinking on that information, would I know whether the Temple of Six would be pretty high tier?
Yeah, I mean, why don't you make a religion or arcana or history check? I will accept any of those.
Well, they're all the same to me, so
There you
I
go.
guess I'll go Arcana. 27.
Yeah. Temple of Six, let's talk about that. Fundamentally, your understanding of them is that they probably at the height of their power were like tier 5. But because so few people are worshiping them, they're probably closer to tier 4. Maybe tier 3 even.
Okay. But that's still very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, even tier 1 is powerful, you know?
Yeah.
So we're talking, if you know how to use it, then more power is more power. So
Okay. I'll pass that on. So they're probably at least tier 4. Since Quiltix has so many Akarut has so many followers now, I would imagine he's closer to tier 5 at least.
So sorry, Cooltix is inside Akarut entirely?
Oh, they are now considered the same. Essentially,
But he was locked inside the
Akarut.
tomb, you said, yes?
Yes, there are a few powerful beings in the tomb, and one of them did manage to temporarily lock him up, but not very securely, I must admit.
But if he was locked inside the tomb, that means he wasn't able to be in more than one place at once. His avatar was literally locked inside the tomb.
Yes, I think since Akarut took him on, he may have become slightly less powerful in that regard. But he has become more powerful in that he has taken on Akarut's battle prowess and all of that, all of his spells and everything like that. So I wouldn't say he's any less formidable as an opponent.
Yes, sorry, I wasn't disagreeing with that. I was wondering more. Well, I mean, you would know better than I, so maybe I shouldn't speak.
No, go on. Happy to hear it.
About what we found in the tomb describing their relationship rather than anything, unless you're speaking to Coltix. So, yeah.
No, I haven't spoken. I've spoken to those who knew him well, but that's about it.
So then the question becomes for me, are you fighting Cooltix? Or are you fighting to free Cooltix from Akarut's position? Like, is Cooltix really who you're fighting, or is Akarut like his own entity that is perverting Cooltix? Could you free Cooltix from Akarut in some way?
I think this is something that Sally's probably never thought about, so she does pause to think about it. But on his own, Quiltix isn't specifically adversarial god. He doesn't hate us, but the natural order of things does include death. That's why he was part of the Six. But Akarut's influence probably has a lot to do with how he's acting now. I wouldn't say they're separate enough anymore to be able to separate them, but if we could, that would be much better. Does that make sense?
I mean, you know better than I, but the thought did cross my mind. I don't know. all this is so new to me. Less than a year ago, a god was just a god to me. I, I just worship Sinanar, who was he's a god of shelter and of protection.
Since I'm so far away from the Temple of the Six, and obviously the rooms that I usually use to communicate with the Six, would it still be possible for me to communicate with them, or would it have to
I don't know.
wait?
Do you want to try?
Yeah, I guess I'll excuse myself and kind of go and sit outside and see whether I can meditate or something.
Okay. She looks at Tis and says, "Does she often just leave like that?" I don't know you and your friends very well. How are you holding?
Thing.
Got it.
That's what it
How
happens.
are you holding up?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I have something to clean up constantly. So many things to clean up, and that's where I'm at. So
Don't feel guilt.
I'm going to. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm going to. So
You would have gotten out somehow.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Things keep on getting out. It's never really the people who did it's fault. It's their fault for being evil. The evil that they perpetrate. You aren't responsible for that.
The fault feels less important. The responsibility, I do think it's
You
mine.
sound like one of those Yemis worshippers.
I think I still technically am. Though our oath is on the rocks. Is anybody close enough to hear that? Because I assumed Celia was like outside, but it's still a tent.
Yeah, no. Celia's going to be in a meditation. I'm going to go cut to her in a second. But
Okay.
literally, Captain Monica rolls her eyes and says, "Of course you're a Yemis supporter."
Do we not all have a duty to each other?
I strongly believe that we have a duty to protect each other as best we can. But you're the damn god that believes in community to the degree that you feel guilt over the actions of other people. You're taking blame for literally a Death Knight and or Death God's actions onto yourself.
Well, we live in a causal universe, don't we? Things only happen when they're caused. And the cause of his presence in the world is this guy right here. Tis points at himself.
The cause of his presence in the world is, I don't know the history, but I'm certain that there's some history that meant that, like, Cooltix decided to imbue his godly essence into an avatar for some reason nefarious. Cooltix probably did it because Cooltix is like a butthole on some level. Or maybe because someone pushed him into being a butthole on some level. I don't know. But, and then, like, we can even go back further than that. And, like, why is, I don't know my history of the gods of Prion. If I were religious, had studied these religions, I would have better answers, but I don't. But the point holds that, like, Akarut is responsible for Akarut's actions. He could have chosen to be nice.
Truth be told.
So Yemis, and she, like, holds up a tankard of something.
Yes.
Smash cut to Celia.
Hello.
So you are trying to reach the Temple of the Six.
I guess.
Are you trying to reach a specific deity?
Honestly, at this point, Sally will take anyone. But she would most prefer to speak to one, since that's who she knows best and who would probably know most.
Great.
Since
Can
he
you
has
roll
the
1d100?
common knowledge. 76.
Oh, shoot. Cool. Let me check something. I was fully expecting to just say no such luck, but then you rolled high. Cool. I hear you.
Hi. I'm very glad to hear you. I have a question, or maybe a couple questions about Quiltix, if you'd be happy to answer.
Knowledge is always worth giving.
Do you know how the process worked of him merging with Akarut?
The avatar process?
Yes.
I am aware. One finds a vessel. The vessel has to be receptive. And then one pours a portion of one's essence into the vessel, expanding.
Only a portion?
Yes. A significant portion, depending on the receptivity of the vessel.
Do you know how much Quiltix is in Akarut right now?
Pause for a second. It's not mathematical. It's spiritual.
Do you know if who has the control over the avatar? Like, is it much more the vessel or the god who is poured in, who is controlling, or is it a mixture of both?
I wouldn't easily say. It's not the same always. I think in some ways a new being is created.
That would make sense to me. Do you know if it can be reversed?
Yes, it definitely can. It is difficult, but possible.
Could you tell me how that would be done?
You must sever the parts from each other and release the god. Certainly, the god could call back their power, or a champion could slay the avatar, and the avatar, the energy would probably return to the god if it still knew its home.
The god wouldn't be harmed.
It's hard to know. I imagine the process wouldn't be pleasant.
Of course. You're welcome to not answer this question, but have you ever thought of taking on an avatar?
I have taken on an avatar.
Oh. Are you still with them?
No.
What are the benefits to taking on an avatar for you?
Your will is enacted more directly. Our servants, or the priests, or the paladins, they tend to see our will and interpret it as they see fit. And our ability to say certain things is restricted by the very power we wield. So, for example, if there was a particular flower that needed pruning, I would be able to tell you pruning is good, but I would not have the ability to say that flower is the problem and that flower needs pruning. that sort of direction is separate from us by virtue of the power we wield. So an avatar can move more directly, but it always comes with a risk.
What's the risk?
Well, they have a lot of power, and they are separate from us, and so they can enact their own will too.
I see. Do you believe that Quiltix is becoming a problem again?
Given the option, I would have my brother return. I don't know.
Would the others in the six agree with you there?
I'm sure their
Do you
votes
think?
would be mixed. Curious almost certainly would happen back. Ostos would. I never have a thought or a clue what Ostos is truly thinking. I guess I would also say that Uxia probably wants him gone. Utia is, I guess, hard to read. She understands, I think, that Quiltix helps define her for what is life without an understanding of death, at least for us.
Okay. One more question. Do you know of any way I can protect the Temple of the Six from here?
I don't understand.
Would you know of any magic or anything I could do in this situation that may help me protect the Temple of the Six? Or is it simply not possible from here?
You've set up systems of people to help, to guide. You've begun training people.
Okay. Thank you.
You feel the presence fade. That was exhausting for you. You actually gain a point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Yeah. You get the feeling that to successfully call on them is always going to be exhausting when you're not near. And the distance that you are from them will escalate the degree of exhaustion.
Makes sense. Okay.
Okay. Lyra and Zerial, you guys are hanging out in the cab in the wagon. Are you sleeping? Are you listening in? Are you spying? What's going on?
I got nothing really to add. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Tiss?
Yeah, same.
Okay, fair enough. Tiss, anything that you want to add in your conversation with Captain Monica? Yeah, well, I think as you were doing this, Captain Monica is packing up her stuff and taking down the tent with the intent of traveling with you if you guys have no objection.
I would appreciate that.
Okay. You know, I'm very glad, I think, Captain Monica says, as she hops on your wagon after this conversation and joins you guys, and says, I'm very glad to meet people who are heading north who are not instantly interested in joining the undead army.
Have you met a lot of people who are?
More than I'd like.
That's reassuring.
Well, I think that Akarut or Quiltix is putting out like a psychic call or something that is manipulating people into coming. You know?
If I have learned more information, I would say that it is Akarut in control at the moment. It's not clear, but in the way that they are acting at the moment, I would imagine it is the one who is strategic and knows battle, rather than the one who likes death as a general premise, if that makes sense. I have a feeling if it was Quiltix in control, there would be a lot more immediate damage than creating an army. I have also learned that it is maybe possible to weaken Akarut, but I'm not 100% sure whether I'm able to yet, so I'll update you when I know.
So the plan right now is to see if we can find some allies and then hope we don't need them because we can instead weaken Akarut and then have the Paladin duel Akarut because of the oath that Akarut has to the Paladin of a favor, and hope that between those two things we will have the resources that we need to fight and dismantle them, possibly the army, and also not need those resources so that we can use the Paladin's oath to encourage a duel, but hopefully simultaneously the spellcaster will be able to, sorry Celia, I forgot your name for a second there, so Celia will be able to decrease the power level of Akarut so that the Paladin Tis can win. That's the plan?
No. I don't think it's fair to say that if I do end up succeeding in this endeavor, Akarut won't be a formidable target still. I think we will definitely need allies. Even if everything goes exactly to plan, which I imagine it will not.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I'm not expecting things to go to plan.
Good to know we're so positive.
Well, you know, I'm just used to it. I can't do it tonight because I've got a limited use on this thing and I've spent it for the day. But in the morning, I'm going to call for one more backup for you guys. They probably won't be here for a day or two, but you know, still might be of some assistance.
Any backup's good backup. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to assist. Tis what I do. Tis what the Order of Starlight does for the Grand Accord. We help people when we can.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry, I almost forgot that you were part of a general organization. I thought you were just nice. We haven't met many nice organizations. Mostly nice individuals.
Well, it's not working out super well for us being nice, so, you know, it's a thing.
Well, when the going gets tough, hopefully you'll stay nice. It's always when it seems to start to fall apart.
That's fair. Okay. Beautiful. That was our 3. And now, and then nothing comes. So 12. On the other 3, we get beautiful. Wow. Okay. Asma, can you roll 2d12 for me?
Whoa, 10 and 9.
Mm.
Unusual.
It's really asthma rolling. Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it.
Well, no, it kind of makes sense that the rolls are high when it doesn't really matter.
No. With this one, the rolls that are higher are worse. So like, it's a flip scale.
yeah.
So that explains it.
Mm-hmm.
Roll 20 names.
Okay. Yeah.
Roll 20 though.
Roll 20 always.
Real life as well.
Okay. Cool. So I think it's early the next day. The sun is rising, and you guys are continuing on your way north, going around Rahotol. There is the skull of sorry, there is a skull of a camel.
Sorry, question that's not really related. How long does it take for me to recover this exhaustion?
Oh, you're fine. No, sorry, you took a long rest, so you're good.
Okay, but do points of exhaustion recover when I take a long rest in general?
1 point of exhaustion recovers each long rest.
Right. Okay.
So if you get 4 points of exhaustion, then 1 long rest gets you to 3, then another gets you to 2, then another gets you to 1. The fact that you did this at night before bed was, a good thing. A convenient
As we go around Prison Ball, are we getting closer to Quiltix?
Yeah, as you head north, you are getting closer to Quiltix right now. You're not around Rohotol yet, but you may be soon.
It has occurred to me that I might be able to actually contact Quiltix himself.
That is very true.
Not a thought I will be sharing.
There is a camel skull.
Great. Good omen.
Are
Actually, hang on.
camels regional?
They are not local, but they are regional. They were brought in about 600 years ago by the Empire to help with desert travel. They were imported, though, from somewhere else.
This is horrible, but...
Sorry.
Say again, Lyra?
I was thinking, can I try and sort of analyze it and see if I can tell how old it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, roll a nature check for me.
It is just a skeleton, isn't it? There's no body.
Just a skull right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you get nice and close to it, and then suddenly its mouth opens and says, "You enter dark lands."
I'm gonna speed walk away from that shit.
Come ye as friend or foe to the great, the holy, the marvelous.
Come me as a accident, as oops, I'm gonna leave now.
Then flee for your life.
I will do.
And
I will do that.
tell them what ye have seen.
Not a lot. So far, all I've seen is a weird, creepy skull thing. But I will tell them that.
Opens its mouth, and from it pours a mist. This bluish green mist that just sort of expands upward. And then on it, you see an image of hordes upon hordes upon hordes of people, undead, standing in ranks, ready, willing, and waiting. Silently standing, not making the sounds that you're used to from collections of warriors. No boisterous yells, no shouts of victory, just quiet, undead confidence.
That will be fine. We got like what? How many of us? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 people. That's enough.
5 people and a spirit ferret. We're gonna be such a scary opponent.
Yeah.
And I think on that moment, that's where we're going to end the episode. And let's hand out some experience points and all that good stuff. Heading north, guys. Heading north.
We finally are. Oh, there's the Azul we know and love.
Yeah. Now one's back. Just to end the game off with as well.
You know.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. Like, just dead.
So you have no idea how long it's dead, but you also triggered the spell, so it didn't matter. Well, it couldn't matter. You could also know how long it's been dead. Let's hand out some experience points. Uh-huh. What level are you guys currently?
15.
15. Wow, that's awesome.
Except
Okay.
Oliver.
Let us do this thing. What things do you think you earned experience points for today?
Successful robbery.
Yes, I'm gonna give you hard experience points for that. I don't think it was deadly, but I think it was hard, and you did good. Yes.
Tis breaking his oath.
Yeah.
That is such a major thing. Like, I can't understate how like big that is.
Yeah, it's huge. I was blown away. And Marcus, I think the answer to that is it's up to you. For me, my instinct would be yes, because it complicates the story. But that's my barometer. That's not necessarily yours. You may feel like you don't deserve experience points. You may even feel that you deserve negative experience points for breaking your oath. But I could go either way.
To make the story more interesting, like we get stuff for treasure and
Well,
the like. Is there a bar?
We haven't. Really, what we have is we have like several different bars that we've been using simultaneously. Several. I mean, making the story more complicated has been a bar that we've used historically. Doesn't have to be, but sometimes it's seen as getting into trouble, right? It's been worth experience points. You've gotten experience points for being captured before, for example.
I think, yeah, I think my argument for this is it's character development, right? Like with anything that is character development, I think we've always like been very good about rewarding that. And this is like not only character development, but major character development. So like it could be in a negative way, sure, right? But it is still experience that is gained, right? Like that's, and I think like under the technical definition of like XP, that's where like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, so let's say like, yeah, like
literally.
pretty much like, and let's say like one of us like, let's say Zerial fucks up massively and like gets everybody except for him, I guess, because he has to be alive to get the experience. But like, let's say that like I fuck up and I get everybody killed, right? That is a massive fuck up, right? But it would also technically be a like, you know, a lot, just like a lot in general, right? Like it's a lot of like emotional turmoil, depth. It is character development and experience on his side, despite it being a bad thing. Which is why I think like to determine like whether or not experience is like, you know, based on good or bad things, I think is irrelevant. So
I kind of agree.
If there's anything that's ever shaped your development, this will be one.
Yeah, like this. You're literally talking about something that like we have been playing this game for like what 2.5 years, right? And you have always been devoted to your god and have never broken your oath. That's like, you know, it's like not cursing for like 2 years and then suddenly you just burst out with a massive f-bomb. You're just like that right there is like, again, you could tell like I was speechless and shocked. So that is major.
Because it is, thinking about it, it is committing to a crisis of faith, or rather one path that diverges from a crisis of faith. Yeah, so hard at most.
Fair to me. Anyone else? Things they want to get experience points for?
Learning to communicate outside the Temple of the Six.
I agree.
And also what I learned.
Yep.
Because that was a lot. Meeting a new person and not fighting or dying.
Making a new friend. Okay, sounds good to me.
I think technically we could put setting up like our little mobile war wagon base, like because that is like I would say what I would classify that as is not actually the wagon, but like setting
Creating a
off
safe
on a
space.
new adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I will give you medium experience for that, I think. That sound fair?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very fair.
Anyone else? Anything that's popping out to you?
let's see.
Deepening our grievances with Songshore.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Strongly.
Doesn't take much, to be honest, but you guys definitely went for that.
Yep. And you were also right, Jack, that they will probably come down hard on the guild for that.
No. So, which I mean, it is what it is.
Sucks to be them.
I mean, to be fair, like at the end of the day, like you're just talking.
I like the guild. Okay, sorry. I'm on
I
team
don't. They're
guild.
mean to me.
They were mean to you. That's true. They were. I'm still on team guild.
I think they can
Just roll
perfectly.
a 2. Sorry.
Yeah. They can handle themselves, I'm sure of it. And if they can't, then like we come in and we clean up and we make a new one. So
Yeah.
on top of all the bodies in the desert and the sand.
Anything else you feel you should get experience points for? Stretch crack. Okay.
Talking to an old friend for the first time in a while. Does that count?
Which friend?
Bieldo.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I will 100% give you easy experience points for that.
Oh yeah, wait, actually,
Nice.
no. To add on to that, right? With Bialdo recommending that they come with for the next thing that they're doing.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
because that's like the
Setting
offer.
up your future.
Yeah, the offer for the future.
Yeah, I'll take that. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's kind of all I can think of too.
Okay. Works for me. We're going to say that there are 4 of you here. So that is going to be 8,600 experience points. Are we caught up? Did I miss a session at one point and never give it to you?
Honestly, it's weird because like it feels like there has been like that, but like
We have. We said we'd do it in the chat and never did.
yeah.
And
it's
now it's like,
funny because
Who
like
Three
owns the
weeks ago
session
now.
now?
yeah,
Great.
I feel like
longer. Yeah.
that's why perhaps we should like make like a new rule that we should do like either XP immediately after the thing ends or like at least because like even like just
No, we
rounding
can't
it
wait.
off to
It's
the total.
we're doing it with X. I'm liking the system where we do it on stream. I just shouldn't forget. That's just really
Yeah.
all. I shouldn't forget. And if
Absolutely.
I forget, you guys should pester me and say, "Shouldn't we do XP?" You know, that sort of thing is great.
Very
We
true.
also forget.
And all that good stuff.
I mean, at this point, we can just write off that session because we don't know
I'm
what
just gonna
happened.
write it
No
off.
one knows what happened.
And you're doing fine. I'm not
I
exactly
think we
worried
did
about
it in
you.
the end in the next session though, because it was the one it was the session where we had killed Adius, and then we did the points again in the next session at the end.
Oh, good.
Well, there you go.
So
Well, I'm just gonna call it even for now.
it's probably fine.
You got a lot of stuff. We'll say that was fair. Whatever. Anyway, this session you got 8,600 experience points.
Em did the math and we're at 20k. And, I mean, that's what was posted in the chat, so I don't know.
203076 is what we're on.
Oh, 200k. Okay.
200.
Oh,
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, no, we're actually leveling down back to level 9.
Level 6 again. Okay.
Level 6 good now. Yeah, so that's... Wait, sorry.
It's a level up.
Well, that's a level up, guys. Level 16.
Let's go.
Yeah! More spells!
Gotta love it. And that's what we're going to call it for the day, guys. Go forth, live good, happy lives. And as always, don't forget the most important advice that I can offer you is never forget to call your cat and feed your mom. Bye, everyone.